Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Aaron's Reading Room, and welcome to another exciting edition of My Category Journey. Today we have a very special one. Forgive me if I'm a little bit at loose ends. I didn't get much sleep last night, so this might be a little all over the place to start out. But I am so excited to bring you this next installment of My Category Journey because this has only happened twice so far to me, where an author has actually reached out and just asked to send me a book. So even though we are barely still in January, going into February, we're still going to take it to the holidays. We're reading Home for the Holidays by Amie Denman. As I said, Amie was super sweet and sent me both this book and the first in the series, this Christmas Island series of hers. There's going to be 6 total, so I am excited to dive right in. We start off with our first protagonist, Camille. She's coming back to Christmas Island to take over running the family business, which is the Christmas Island candy and fudge shop. Her sister, who was running it, is getting married and moving off the island, so Camille has decided to come home and manage the business and she wants to turn it into something bigger than just the local island candy shop. That would be pretty simple, but then we have our other protagonist, Maddox. Now, Maddox and Camille had a relationship in high school, but things ended tragically. We're not sure why, but Camille is pretty burned about it. So Maddox is just kind of the wrench in the whole move back home situation because Camille's just really not ready to face that. And so they have been around each other for a matter of months, but she has actively avoided him. They're at an all-class high school reunion right now, and he is forcing the issue. And as much as Camille's lovely sisters tried to block for her, it didn't quite happen. And also the hero from the first book, who's Maddox's brother, also played a little distraction in there to give Maddox and Camille some alone time. I love the start of this because I love an impossible beginning. There is something about a second chance that just has such a rough break that first time around. And it just, to me, it makes it that much more special that they actually can bring it around and make it work that second time. But I might be getting ahead of myself here, so we don't know what's going to happen. It's just chapter 1. We've got a lot of book ahead of us. So I'm strapped in. I'm ready. I'm loving this already. Heartwarming settings are just so perfect. I've never started out a heartwarming that just wasn't fun from chapter 1. There's just something about the authors in this genre that really know how to hook you into that small town. Maybe it's just us small town fans that really get sucked into them, but I don't know. Leave your opinion in the comments down below. So I will eagerly go on to chapter 2 and I will check in with you then. Hello everyone, I'm back. I finished chapter 2. We got a glimpse at this island candy store, which is the Peterson sisters' legacy, Peterson family legacy. It's been in the family for generations, been the same business model for generations, the same decor for generations. Camille's older sister was running the show, traditional, as the parents wanted to keep it, but she's getting married and moving off the island, and so now Camille's taken over, and she's got some ideas. Mom's a bit hesitant, but is ready to make a change if necessary, if they need to, but it might not be as easy as Camille would hope it would be. So she knows she's got to take small steps there. If that wasn't enough in that chapter, well, guess who decides to show up? And in such unfair fashion, too. Maddox brings his son and dog along. And even for how we feel about Maddox, we can't be mad at the child or the dog. And Camille, one of our heroes, obviously knows this and is super sweet to the little boy. But there's a lot of feelings there. There's a lot of... Yeah, that's not one you get over easy. We're still having a rough time. Maddox wants to at least be friends. At least that's what he's telling himself right now, because I'm not sure how you just become buddies after something like that. That seems like something you either cut off and move on, or if you're gonna work through it, you work through it the whole way. This is heartwarming, so I'll just stop there. Keep things PG. So that's where we are right now. I'm going to eagerly move on to chapter 3, and I'll let you know what kind of progress these two make with each other, if any at all. I think maybe some outside forces are gonna have some play in here, and so I'm excited for that. Hello everyone, I'm back, and I finished chapter 3. Excuse my hair, it's nothing but flyaways today, but that's just how it is sometimes. So we've got our main characters. They have to interact with each other somewhat. So there was a circumstance in chapter 3 where they didn't need to, but were kind of forced into a situation. It just happened that it was going to be easy for Maddox to go pick up some stuff somewhere that Camille was going to be instead of his brother Griffin. Well, the interaction, it was pleasant enough, but Maddox can't stop pushing. He really has some closure that he needs to face here, but thing is, closure is something you give yourself. It's not something you get from someone else. So he's stuck in that, trying to get closure from Camille right now instead of just working on it himself. So he's got some things to work on, but that's okay. Camille's got some things to work on too. She's maybe expanding the candy business a little too quickly. Her mom and dad and older sister are quietly biting their nails in the corner, very nervous about what's going on. Our characters might be bulldozing a little too much right now. There might need to be some course correcting that comes up. So I will check in after chapter 4 and let you know if they made any progress. Hello everyone, I have finished chapter 4. We had a very interesting adventure here where Camille was needing to rent a refrigerator truck to move some of the candy goods from the candy store to what she's got like a distribution building right now, but she's planning to eventually turn that into the production site so they don't have to move the candy across the ferry. But she's never driven a truck this big, and this, let me be clear here, is not a male-female issue. Driving those big trucks, if you're not used to it, is nerve-wracking. You don't have a rear view mirror. You have these giant side mirrors that you're not sure if you can actually see everything around you. And checking your blind spot, like, good luck. You do the best you can. So it is a skill. It is a talent. It is not something someone just easily does the first time. Regardless, she gets a bit of razzing from Maddox about this, but as their interactions go, they can't talk to each other without both bringing up double entendres that refer back to their past. And this incident that was Maddox's fault, that Camille is totally within her right to still be very upset about, it keeps coming up in the most innocent conversations. They're gonna have to hash it out at some point here, not for the sake of closure, but I think just for the sake of airing of grievances. This will be an airing of grievances for the ages here when this finally happens. I'm licking my lips and getting ready for when this comes up. So that's where we are now. I'll go on to chapter 5 and I'll let you know how things go then. Hello everyone, welcome back. I finished chapter 5. This took place at the Christmas Island Holiday Market. So it's a big event that people from the mainland come in. It's a big deal. But to the Islanders, it's kind of a tradition that just everyone shows up there. So of course, Camille and Maddox are gonna run into each other. And she's pretty much expecting to run into him. He's trying to run into her. He's trying so hard. It's adorable how hard he's trying, and it's actually starting to hurt a bit how much Camille is pushing back. But yet, you can't be mad at her because she's very justified in her feelings, completely justified in her feelings, and her anger is valid. There's a lot to work through here, and boy, you know, it's taken its time. Amie's really making us work for it here, but you know what? It's gonna be worth it though, because the amount of fighting that Camille's doing, it's gonna be beautiful when those walls come down and the feelings come out. So we will anxiously await that, and I will go on to chapter 6, and I will let you know where things are after that. Hello everyone, I finished chapter 7. I can't tell you exactly what happened, because you're gonna have to find that out for yourself, but things are getting smoother between Maddox and Camille. It's almost to that adorable point. I can just feel that something really, really super cute is just around the corner. Camille's making progress at her own pace and at her own willingness too. She's not being forced into accepting that Maddox is going to be part of her life. No, she's making this choice consciously, and I hope that second first date's coming up. I can kind of feel that it's on its way, and I'm super excited about it. I'm hoping it's going to be adorable. There was a moment where, how can I say this? Camille witnessed Maddox being very capable. You know, that does things to everyone. So we always love those moments, and they're good for a turning point, which, like I said, I think is coming. So we're very excited right here, and I'm going to go on to chapter 8, and I will check in with you after that. Hey everyone, I finished chapter 8. Now, we didn't get as much progression in this one as we wanted. This was basically a chapter just highlighting that Maddox needs to be a father first, and that is just fine. It's something that I myself never had to deal with when I was in the dating scene, but I can imagine it's a very difficult thing. Keeping your priorities straight, but then still, wanting to have nice things for yourself too. It's the struggle of parenting. We all realize how selfish we really were when we have children, but we do make the sacrifices, and in the end, we usually find out that a lot of the things we missed, we don't actually miss that much. So Maddox is making the correct decisions, and it upsets him. I can tell it upsets Camille a bit too, but she understands. That's just life. Hopefully knowing these things about each other helps bring them together, that they have their priorities in line. Having your priorities in line is actually a very attractive quality to grown-ups. So we will just hope that rubs off on each other, that the attraction grows, and that we get them where we want them. So I will continue on to chapter 9, and I will check in with you then. Hello everyone, I finished chapter 9. Now, in chapter 9, it's Camille and her dad Ron's birthday. They've got a lot of traditions that they share, but Camille's got some things to do. I mean, she's trying to expand this business, but I think she's second-guessing herself a little bit, and I think Maddox is helping that second-guessing in the best ways he can. But mostly we're happy that he remembered Camille's birthday, and he did. We wish that there's a helicopter flying over right now. I'm gonna wait for that to pass. Okay, I think the helicopter's far enough away now. It would be inappropriate for him to get her some kind of gift or something like that, so he did what he could for her. We just wish it could have been a little bit more. We wish that he and Camille could have all just gone to lunch with her family and enjoyed. There's a tradition that their dad doesn't like too much, but he grins and bears it every year for his birthday. It's quite hilarious. You're gonna have to check that out. We haven't got that second first date yet, but it's coming. I know it's coming soon. They've got to make some progress here. Amie's really making us work for it here. So we see Amie, but we're gonna get there. These two, we're getting them together. And no matter how much you try and stall, we're gonna make it happen. So I'm gonna go on to chapter 10, and I will see you after that. Hello everyone, I finished chapter 11. So I did 2 chapters. So these both took place around a Thanksgiving celebration. There was a big dinner, flipping the lights on the big display at the Holiday Hotel that you can see all across the lake. Had little moments here Maddox enjoyed but found confusing. Camille was confusing herself, where she's trying to take things. She felt like she made a mistake a few times. I feel like we're getting there. We're getting close. Maddox is hurting. He's hurting bad because Camille's, I'll say, she gave maybe a millimeter in chapter 11, but she's still holding firm, which is her right. She can make that decision. I just think she's a little conflicted inside her own head a bit. So we're a bit past halfway. So I think that things might really warm up here soon, especially around Christmas, when the island apparently gets a little bit locked in with the ice and everything. So hopefully, I'm hoping for some nice, sweet holiday moments here, because this is a holiday book. So obviously some magic's got to happen around there. So I will check in after chapter 12, and I will let you know what's happened. Hello everyone, I finished chapter 12. So we've moved on to Christmas theme now. It's not quite Christmas, but the whole island is decorating for Christmas, and apparently it's a competition on the storefronts of who has the best display. So Camille's taking it very seriously. And it's the island's bicentennial too. And as Camille has a history degree, she was kind of recruited by the Chamber of Commerce to sort of be the local historian. So she wants to fit the theme of the bicentennial and the Christmas past thing they got going on. And so she's going to make a gingerbread house. And of course it's going to be the Winter Palace, because why shouldn't it be? I'm pretty sure this cover of book 1 is the Winter Palace. This might be the Island Hotel. I'm not sure. But I'm going to pretend this is the Winter Palace because I love this picture. So that's going to be a task. So Camille might have to spend a lot of time over there. I know it's Griffin's house. It's not Maddox's, but Maddox lives close enough by. So they're probably just going to have to spend a lot of time together to get this thing built. And I mean, why shouldn't he help her? He grew up pretty much in that house. So I'm just saying, we knew that ex-wife Jennifer was going to show up eventually, and she did. She's here right now. She's fine. We're, co-parenting. We're not villainizing. We're not villainizing anyone here. But I don't know. Maybe she'll be a good foil for some jealousy on Camille's part. Oh, but no. I didn't say that. I didn't encourage jealousy, making people jealous. That's not how we do things here. That's especially not how we do heartwarming. I'm not encouraging bad behavior. All right. We'll just have to see what comes of it. And so I will go on to the next chapter, and I will check in with you then. I finished chapter 13. Heartwarming authors, they do this thing where they get you nice and comfortable, and you think you're reading this just cozy book that you can just curl up with and just have nothing but a good time. And then they sneak in a chapter or two where it's either heart-wrenching sadness, or in this case, heart-pounding tension in a very, very scary situation. We got that, but you know what? It's okay. I can't tell you about it, but I can tell you that it resurrected some feelings. Nothing like some heroism and lethal danger to bring the feelings out in everyone. It's not that we encourage to put themselves in danger or do reckless things, but from the safety of the pages inside these books, it's absolutely excellent, and we're so glad it happened. I'm sorry to all the characters in the book that I just said I'm glad. All right, I'll just stop myself. I'll just stop digging myself deeper into the hole there. All right, and I'll just say I like where things are right now, and I think it's going to do nothing but keep warming up. So I will continue on, and I will check in with you after the next chapter. So, hello everyone, I've finished chapter 14. Excuse if the audio's a little off in this one. I have a very needy lady with me right now, and so she might make her presence known throughout this segment here. So, chapter 14, we finally got that second first date, which was actually more than we could have expected. I was very surprised with Camille. I can't give it away, but she tried her best. Those feelings just got to her. And Maddox was feeling on top of the world by the end of the chapter. So we are so glad we got to this point. I thought this moment was going to come so much sooner than it actually did. Like I said, Amie is really making us work for it in this book here, which is great. Like, it hasn't felt too much, the fighting the feelings. It's felt very legitimate, and it hasn't been... Ow. She's doing her thing where she gets overstimulated and grabs my hand and gives little love bites. So the fighting the feelings has been really fun the whole way through. It almost got to that point of like, oh, come on. But we got a little treat. We got a little treat at the end of chapter 14. So I am very ready to move on to chapter 15 and really see where this thing goes. It's gonna take off here. So I will check in after then, and I'll let you know how things are going. Hello everyone, I finished chapter 15. Camille and Maddox, they keep doing things together. like not like dates or anything. They just keep doing these town projects and, thinking, oh, well, they could help me out with that. And just reasons to hang out together, which is great. But man, it's weighing on both of them. And Camille's finally starting to let herself admit to that. But Maddox, it's starting to crush him. And boy, at the end of chapter 15, it wasn't any kind of like grand thing or anything, but man, did he just lay it out there for her. Boy, she was stunned to silence, and we don't know where things are going now, but man, it's getting heavy now. So we're really going to have to see how Camille handles this. So I will eagerly move on to chapter 16. I'm going to try and finish the book today. It's Saturday. I've got not much to do, so it's the perfect opportunity. So I'm going to work on that, and I'll see you in a chapter or so. Hello, everyone. I've finished chapter 16. So Camille did her best to try and backtrack into those angry feelings again, and it almost got ugly. But you know what? This kind of needed to happen. There needed to be a bit of like an angry reckoning between these two where they both just shouted at each other. And luckily, I usually hate when cooler heads prevail, but Ethan, Maddox's son, was nearby, and it was good that cooler heads did prevail, because the child doesn't need to be around that. There was a cathartic moment after the confrontation, and I hate to steal Amy's own word there, but that's exactly what it was. And it was super fun. Like, you knew it was going to happen as soon as it tipped off, but it was great, and it just so fit with this book and Christmas Island, and it was magical. A bit of a speed bump, but Maddox and Camille, I think we've got them back on the right track here. Also, big props to Sister Cara, youngest sister, for laying down some hard truths. I always love when the side character comes in and just really, really forces the main character to face their feelings and analyze what it is that they really want, or at least kick off that process. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go into chapter 17, and I'll let you know how things go. Hello, everyone. I've finished chapter 18. So we got a lot of external stuff happening here. So Chloe, Camille's older sister, is having a rough time. She's getting married, and she's going to move to Lakeside off the island. She's very attached to Christmas Island and the traditions of the holidays and everything like that. They're really weighing on her and making her upset and thinking of calling off her wedding. So Camille's concerned about this, partly because she's worried that if her sister stays, she's going to push her out of the top spot in the candy business. I've already seen the solution to this here, but we're just going to wait and let it play out. Camille hasn't quite, she's like half put it together, but she's not quite there yet. But there's still 4 chapters left, and she'll figure it out. But man, these two, Maddox and Camille, Maddox would be ready to move forward if it was just up to him. But Camille's still got some more stuff to work through, and we're not upset with her about that. I mean, we're trying not to be upset with her about that, but we are going to be patient with her and give her the time she needs, because they need to do it right this time. Because a second chance romance, you can't just run roughshod over everything. It has to be done right. It has to be done correctly. Otherwise, I mean, people break up for a reason. So to heal that wound and to bridge that divide, it takes proper behavior, and it takes the proper process. Each party needs to be in the right headspace, and they both need to be willing to make it work this time. So we'll go on to chapter 19, and I will hopefully try and hopefully they'll work on some things, and I'll let you know how it goes. Hello, everyone. I finished chapter 21. I did quite a few chapters here because I wanted some progress to happen. Well, progress has happened. The business stuff's been figured out, thank goodness. I mean, we knew that was going to be great. And then Chloe's married now, so older sister's married and is happy. They got over their cold feet. But there's just one thing left to do in the last chapter, and we have something here. Now, we all love forced proximity, and I think that means that we can all equally hate forced separation. I mean, life happens, but seriously, This timing is terrible. Amy's making us work for it. I'll say it again. But I tell you what, a tweet I made, she replied back and she's like, it's the hardest part in writing it too. And you know what? I believe her. So I'm going to hurry up and finish the book. I'm going to make sure I enjoy it as well. But I'm so excited to see how this finally resolves. So I will go do that, and I'll see you all at the end of the book. Hello everyone, I finished Home for the Holidays by Amie Denman, and it was absolutely lovely. It was such a sweet little quaint island with found family, small town. It has all the elements you love about heartwarming, and it has the holidays in there too. This didn't feel specifically like a holiday book, even though there were a lot of holidays in here. It wasn't just Christmas. It went Halloween all the way to Christmas, so it had all of them, but it just felt natural because, that's just life. The holidays come and go, and that's, you roll with them as they show up. And so we can do that too in our category journey as well. One thing, I am very glad that there's more books coming in this series because we need to get more of a taste of Camille and Maddox just in slice of life mode where they're together and doing the whole new family thing. So I can't wait for the next book to come out, and I'm going to gobble that up. I've got to read the first book too. That's going to be Griffin and Rebecca's book. It's going to be a whole different kind of dynamic, but totally in love with them too and need to live their story as well. Thank you so much to Amie Denman for sending me these books. I appreciate it so, so much. They're just a wonderful gift and something I will treasure forever. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harlequin Books, for putting out these great stories. And thank you all of you guys for joining me on my category journey. And remember, it's your journey as well. So moving forward now, we're going to be going on to book 20 of my category journey. And also, I'm going to be starting, I'm just going to call it my romance journey, which is just going to be a single title version of tweeting and vlogging and all of that. As I'm filming this, it's going to start next week. And I've already got the next category journey picked out, so stay tuned for that. Have a great reading journey yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video.